Wow, I gotta say guys that this is a very humongous box. Let's see if we can get it out of here safely without hitting the camera. And here we have the actual aircraft support. These are the stands for when you're landing. We also have the camera mount. And here we have the 2500 milliamp battery. Let's go ahead and open it to confirm it. Unlike other quadcopters, they usually come with 2200. This one, as we can notice right there, is actually 2700. Even though the description said 25, that's amazing. You can see here we have some tools and the user guide. We have the propellers. We also have here the charger. I think this is going to be the American charger. We have the CX20 remote controller. And the most important piece, we have the actual quadcopter. And here it is. Let's take it out of the box. Hit the camera. The quadcopter itself, as we can see guys, it comes completely unassembled basically. Well, almost completely, because we can see the body and the motors are here, and I gotta say that this is a beauty. Here in the very top, you're gonna have the GPS antenna. We can see already the CX20 logo. It comes for 4 motors, as we can see here. And I'm guessing that this is going to be the front of the quadcopter. Again, we can see the CX20 logo. On the very bottom appears to have an antenna right here and some connections. I'm assuming that this is going to be for cameras and whatever connection you're gonna need. I think this is going to support it. And on the back here is where we're gonna have the back door to actually input the battery. We also have the connector. We can see, that's great. And now we're gonna go ahead and install all the propellers and also the stand of the actual quadcopter. Make sure that when you're installing the blades, you do it correctly. The A goes to where it shows the clockwise, and the B goes to where it shows counterclockwise. So make sure you get it correctly, guys, because then your quadcopter may not function correctly. The battery, once again, I was impressed. It is 2700 milliamp, but I see that the charger is not the American kind unless I get some sort of adapter, which I do believe I have an adapter around the house, but as we can see, I didn't get the American charger. And here we can see that we have the balance connector for charging, and this is the connector that goes directly into the quadcopter. Now, it is always recommended that before you take off with your quadcopter, you charge the battery fully. So basically what you do is you grab the main unit here, you connect it. Then on this side, you're gonna have the connector for the actual charger itself. You plug it into the wall and you're good to go. And here finally we have the remote control of the quadcopter. Let's go ahead and take it out of the box. And so we go ahead and remove now the back cover. Let's go ahead and hook up the batteries. Okay, and there we see that the quadcopter remote control made a noise already, so I guess it was in the power on position. Here we can see the modes on the very top here. It says SWA, and this is what SWA means. The 0 is going to be the manual mode, which is recommended for experienced users, and we also have the stable mode. That's the one for beginners. And number 2 is in case you lose track of your device, you can just flick this down and it's going to return directly into the original position. But for that, you got to make sure that your device has a GPS locked. There's 2 LED lights, which I'm going to show you when I take off on the park. We're going to be going to the park today, so I'll be showing you guys how to set it up and whatnot, and how to know if your device has locked a GPS signal. Alrighty guys, and now that we have the actual quadcopter ready together with the transmitter, another thing I want to mention is that I will attach the iPhone 6 underneath the quadcopter. I do have to modify the current mount that came with the quadcopter, and I'll be showing you guys that at the park. So let's go ahead and test it and see how this baby performs. Here we can see that I got a 2200 milliamp from a local hobby store, and I also have the standard 2700 milliamp battery just to get more flying time. It is recommended that if you want to fly for at least 30 minutes, you get 2 batteries, and 2200 and above is what's recommended. That way you don't run the risk of not fitting a battery. I think a 3000 milliamp battery is too big for this quadcopter to fit on the back. That being said, the first thing we do is go ahead and connect the battery. So we fit it in here. Make sure that the connection is very firm. Then once everything's hooked up, you're gonna see the engine's moving a little bit. It has 4 brushless motors, as we can see here. Now, you can see here in the back, we have 2 LED lights. One of them is green, one of them is red. The red one is for the transmitter, and the green one is gonna be for the GPS. You have to wait until this green light goes solid. If it's blinking, you should not take off. That means that the GPS has not locked the signal yet, and you can run the risk. Let's say you're flying in the air and you need to return home because you lost control of it. Your quadcopter may not return to its original position. Alrighty guys, and here we also have the mount that I created in order to attach the iPhone 6 on here, and it does consist of 3 different parts. One of them is going to be the bracket, and here we have a adapter for the tripod, and lastly we're going to have the cell phone holder that is designed for a tripod. Then you have to drill 2 holes on the back, as we can see here, to get these 2 bolts with the nuts securing the actual phone holder. That way you ensure that it's not going to be falling when you're up in the air. Also, you do have to get 2 new screws here. They have to be a little bit longer in order for you to fit them on the body of the actual quadcopter. And here we have the iPhone 6 attached to the quadcopter. We can see that in fact this is the iPhone 6. And here we have the transmitter to pair it. All we do is power on. Ensure that this throttle is all the way down. Then to pair with it, all we do is just move it towards the right for a few seconds. Then you're going to see that the light on the quadcopter is going to go solid red. That means that you're paired and you're ready to take off. So let's go ahead and take off and see how this baby performs. Have it on position hold basically means that the altitude is going to remain the same, but you still have to hover it around with the right stick just to ensure that the wind doesn't take it away. But that's a great feature, and pretty soon we're going to do the return to home feature as well, so that you guys see how accurate it is. And now we will test the return to home feature. As you guys can see, I'm not controlling anything right now. It is landing. The return to home position was a little bit off. I would say it was about 3 feet away from the original position, but at least you know that it is working.